All right, it's super early in the morning. Everybody's asleep in my house, and I'm in the garage doing a bike check on my 2019 Specialized P3 that I just bought yesterday. Plus, I'm sick. You could probably hear that in my voice. It's kind of funny, this whole situation. But anyway, let's get to it. Like I said, brand new Specialized P3. It's got a bunch of P-Series stuff on it, like the grips. These are actually lock-ons, but they're a little ribbed for mutual pleasure. It's kind of very soft, but also like it moves around when you grip it. Those ribs flex. It's a bit weird feeling. Not sure I love these grips. The brakes there are kind of trashy TRP cheapies, and they give you both front and rear 160 mil for both. What's interesting, I thought, is that the top cap here for the steer has a hole in it for the front brake to drop down. So it goes right there, pops out through the bottom of the fork, and then goes down to the caliper. And that's a single pot caliper. Definitely need to bed these brakes in when you first pick it up. They don't stop at all. Probably a thing to upgrade later. While we're down here, this is, I believe, is it a 15 or a 20? Anyway, it's a through axle setup. Don't recall exactly if it's a 15 or a 20. What's interesting about it is that there's no, some of them are quick release through axles. They give you a handle to spin them out. These don't. You have to use a hex to take the wheel off, which I think is kind of interesting. Coming from a mountain bike world, once you go through axle that has, just quick release, it's so nice. You don't want to use anything else. The forks on it are also kind of trash. It's non-adjustable Manitou Circus Sports. Feel kind of rough, and I'm pretty heavy. They don't really support me that great. I have to do a little bit of research to see if there's preload adjustment or whatever. But I actually found a really good deal on Manitou Circus Experts that I've ordered, so they're coming. And surprisingly, the sports here are tapered. So the head tube's tapered and the steer is tapered, so we got a perfect match. The fork that I ordered is a straight steer, so I'll have to actually get a crown race adapter for the fork to work with this FSA Orbit headset. Man, I guess it is early in the morning. Totally drew a blank what the thing's called. FSA Orbit headset. All right. Plus you get a whole mess of this rear brake tubing, so you could do your fancy bar spins and whatnot. Here's another look at that P-Series stem cap with the hole drilled through it. And I don't know if that's just how the bike shop assembled it, or if it's supposed to be straight, or it's supposed to be on diagonal. I have no idea. The actual stem itself is also a P-Series stem. And it's got these kind of weak little, I think they're 3 millimeter Allen bolts. Would have preferred to see something beefier. I'm not sure why they do that. Maybe to prevent you over torquing these things, because you'll strip out the bolts before you could do anything. Here's the frame, and they have, my phone just doesn't want to focus right now. Here it is. It's kind of a matte blackish finish on the frame, and on these are just stickers over the top of it, so you could definitely peel these off kind of easily. It's just like a vinyl, shiny vinyl sticker. And you have one at the top tube, you have bottom, down tube here, and then on the underside of the down tube as well. Made in Taiwan. Handmade in Taiwan is what they say. It's kind of interesting. The seat is also P-Series seat. It's a regular rail seat, which I like. It's got a fat seat post, so you could run a dropper. Don't laugh at me. For those of us that are buying this to just dirt jump and pump track, but also cruise around the neighborhood, with our daughters or kids, that might be a great option, you know? Just stick a dropper on there, drop it, or maybe you could just get a quick release C-clamp or whatever. But, you know, you could put a dropper in there with a little lever right there. And then for the pump tracks, get that seat out of the way. When you cruise in the neighborhood with your kids, raise it up. Who knows, maybe that's just a mountain biker in me speaking. I know the kids won't like that. Anyway, these stout DJ cranks, again, mountain bike type of setup here. I think it's just some kind of a no-name brand or specialized ring here. I think it's a 30 tooth. I think it's a 14 driver in the back. We'll get to that. The other thing that's not great about this whole setup is press fit bottom bracket. Why would you ever do that? I have no idea. Really dumb. That's probably my least favorite part about this whole situation, besides, you know, fork and the brakes. Specialized dirt pedals come with the bike. You got to keep the reflectors in so the kids on the dirt jumps can see you. Moving backwards here. Here's a good look at the dropout situation here. So it's sliding dropouts. You could loosen these nuts. There's an adjustment bolt through the back. And this is a 10 mil through axle, I believe. And then here's the driver. So yeah, it's kind of a good setup, I think. I would, again, prefer a through axle on the back. That would have been my choice if I had a sliding dropout with a through axle. Would have loved that. P-series hubs, front and rear. Here's a look at the rear situation. So it is single speed specific, which is nice. It's not running an adapter. It's really set up for single speed, which I think is cool. P-series rims. There you go, Renegades from Specialized for the tires. It's 26 by 2.1. Also kind of interesting, you know, even their little Hot Rock 16-inch bikes are running 2.3 tires. So I'm not sure why they put the 2.1s on here. I would have preferred more of a balloony tire, take up some of the impact when you're jumping. But what do I know? It's my first dirt jumper ever. I've never dirt jumped anywhere. But anyway, I think that just about covers it. Here's a look at the front hub. Both of the rotors are 6-bolt setup, so it's none of that center mounted stuff. Yeah. Let's take a look here real quick at the bottom bracket. You could kind of, I should do a hub sound for you. I don't know why hub sound is a thing, why people look for that on the internet. And I don't know why people like loud hubs. I hate loud hubs. I wish this thing was just dead silent. That would be cool. Why do you want to listen to that all day long? I don't get it. It's kind of interesting. This whole bottom bracket thing is like a forging, and then they welded the tubes to it. So it looks really beefy in there. Sorry for the lighting. I know you can't really see that great, but and the focus is all over the place. But anyway, it's kind of interesting the way they set that up. The tubes are also have a certain geometry to them, like almost a triangle thing right here for the top tube. And the down tube's a triangle in the opposite direction, so flatter bottom and coming to a point on top. Yeah, so the reason I picked this bike up is I just want to get better at mountain biking. So I was looking for more of a mountain bike type of dirt jumper. You know, I know the background's kind of more BMX-y for a lot of them, and I was really looking for something that's more as close as possible to a mountain bike, and I think this fits the bill. I ride a Nomad for my mountain bike, Nomad 4. And when I got on this, it felt very natural. Geometry was almost the same. Didn't feel weird at all. Not like a BMX bike that I tried before. Just felt super natural. So I decided to move forward with the purchase. And I think I'm happy. Today I'm gonna go out and actually hit the pump track and hit the dirt jumps, Lake Cunningham, San Jose. For those of you that are out there, grab me if you see me, teach me. I would appreciate it. That's it. That's my new bike. I wanted to get some shots of it before before I take it out. It's only new once, and it's gonna be covered in dirt, so nobody's gonna want to see that on the internet afterwards. Here's a tread pattern on these tires, slope style Renegade 26x1 Schrader valves, 100 mil hex lock. You can't see it. 100 mil hex lock SL through axles. You can see fork just blanked out, both stanchions. Nothing to adjust. Only mod so far. I actually tried to put some Dior brakes on it and turned out my brakes were worse than what's on here, so I have to go back to the drawing board for that. Only mod so far is a clear piece of Scotch tape right here on the head tube. I got the bubbles in there and everything. You need that air cushion to prevent cable rub. So make sure you do it right. Got to get the air bubbles in there. All right, guys, thanks for watching. See you next time.